Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on News Track, reaching you live from our Prtvc facility. My name is Yaxat McClellan. The federal government has suspended the proposed review of registration fee for the 2027 West African Senior School Certificate Examination and the National Examination Council Senior Certificate Examination, pending wider consultations with stakeholders. In a statement, the Ministry of Education the later conveying the proposed fee adjustment dated June 18, 2026, had been withdrawn to allow for a comprehensive review before any final decision is taken. The ministry, in the release, the Director of Press and Public Relations, Boriowo Folashade, said the suspension followed concerns and feedback from members of the public. And according to the ministry, the proposed fee review was driven by rising costs associated with conducting national examinations, noting that registration fees have remained largely unchanged for several years despite increasing operational expenses. It cited higher costs of logistics, security, printing of examination materials, technology deployment, quality assurance, and other services required to maintain the credibility of public examinations. The statement said the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, directed that the proposal be put on hold in line with the federal government's commitment to inclusive and evidence-based policy making. It added that consultations will be held with examination bodies, state ministries of education, school proprietors and administrators, parents associations, organized labor, education stakeholders, and other critical partners before any decision is reached. Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State has commissioned the biggest tissue culture laboratory in the West African sub-region. The facility, located in Mangu, headquarters of Mangu local government area, has the capacity to change the production of potato and other root crops across the country. Our correspondent captured the mood of the potato farmers and stakeholders in the agricultural value chain. The report.
The Tissue Culture Laboratory, located in Mangu, is one of the projects undertaken by the Plateau State Potato Value Chain Support Project, assisted by the African Development Bank. The facility is to help potato farmers get clean and disease-free seeds that are compatible with the soil texture of the farming communities in the state. The Tissue Cultural Laboratory will also curb the prevalence of importing seeds, which is expensive and propagated not according to the weather and soil texture of the state. Potato farmers in the state and other stakeholders rolled out their drums in appreciation to the Plateau State Governor, Caleb Mutfwang, for supporting the project. Some farmers, Mansei Rifkatu Istifanus and Nuhu Dangleman, said the facility means more money and improved productivity.
I'm grateful for the Honorable Governor for what he have done to this particular group, and it will give us strength and it will help us to pay our children's school fees.
The most annoying thing is that the bag that you bought in the name of Connect or in the name of jelly or yellow, as they call it back there, they'll grow with mixture and there's no real brand in the whole thing. And then they are all seeds that have undergone different changes. So there's no guarantee of the quality of what they are getting. So the recent intervention or by the government is really laudable.
Potato Value Chain Support Project Coordinator Jerry Gushop said he is proud to be part of the history-making event.
My gratitude to the Executive Governor for the opportunity he gave me, to steer the affair of this project. Your Excellency, the trust you bestowed on me was and is something I never take with levity.
On his part, man of the moment and the visionary of the Plateau Potato Project, Governor Caleb Mutfwang assured the farmers that it will not be business as usual, as his administration has put in place machineries that will work in the potato value chain.
Value chain means that potato is not just a food crop to be harvested and sold in open market. It means that beyond selling the potato, you can actually process it into something else And in between the sale of the potato and the processing, there's another chain called transportation. So there are many things that can happen around potato.
The revolutionary posture of the time is now administration in the agricultural sector continues to touch the lives of Plateau citizens, putting the state on the global map of agricultural production. This is Wajal Mantu.
And to politics, Senator representing Plateau Central Senatorial District, Tiket Plang, has called on stakeholders in Plateau State to close ranks and push for the actualization of his bill seeking to upgrade the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, JOS, into a full-fledged university. Senator Plank made the appeal during an interactive session with media practitioners at his residence in Jos. Correspondent Simon Swatsky has details as presented from our studio.
The media interaction conveyed by Senator Plang was aimed at highlighting his legislative progress and major achievements in the 10th Senate. Speaking on the bill to upgrade the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, JOS, into University of Mining and Geosciences, Senator Plang noted that once the bill receives presidential assent from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the institution will fundamentally reposition Nigeria's solid minerals sector. According to the lawmaker, the specialized university will provide cutting-edge research, professional training and human capital development necessary to drive local content, boost technical expertise and create jobs for the country's teeming youth.
Instead of sustaining a very high-level institute like this, it should be upgraded to a university. Nigeria is a country that is blessed in mineralogy. And the study of mineralogy, even if you are having more than one universities dedicated to the study of mining and mineral sciences, it will not be too much. My prayer is that all Plateau people should not look at that bill as Tiket Plank's bill, but it's a Plateau bill. When we appear before the president, we should be able to ask for issues that are the needs of Plateau.
Senator Plang also commended the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration for flagging off the major reconstruction of the Akwanga-Jos Bauchi-Gombe-Maiduguri road, describing it as a vital economic lifeline for the region. Turning to security, the lawmaker praised security agencies for their tactical efforts in recently rescuing abducted school children. He, however, urged government at all levels to maximize funding and provide modern equipment to security agencies, enabling them to carry out their duties diligently and restore total peace to vulnerable communities.
But I thank them for their courage, that in the midst of risk, the security are still confronting criminality. We must thank them, and I think we need to encourage them more by way of ensuring that appropriations and fundings are made for them.
Reacting to the recently concluded All Progressive Congress party primaries, Senator Plang called on the party's executive leadership to create robust avenues for internal reconciliation.
And talking civic rights, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has extended the deadline for the submission of candidates' lists for the 2027 presidential and National Assembly elections from July 11th to midnight of July the 14th, 2026. The Commission announced the extension in a statement issued by the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Muhammad Kudu Haruna. According to INEC, the decision followed an appeal by the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, on behalf of political parties that were unable to upload the names and personal particulars of their candidates within the earlier deadline. Haruna said the extension demonstrates the Commission's commitment to promoting inclusiveness while remaining within the provisions of the Electoral Act and the approved election timetable. He urged all political parties yet to complete the nomination process to take advantage of the extension and ensure the successful upload of their candidates' details before the new deadline expires at midnight on July 14th, 2026. And to weather matters, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET has placed 25 states and the Federal Capital Territory on high alert over the likelihood of flash floods between July the 11th and the 20th. In the north, the states on alert for flash floods are Bauchi, Jigawa, Taraba, Adamawa, Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa, Kwara, and Kogi states. NIMET warned that already saturated soils could trigger widespread flooding capable of disrupting lives, destroying infrastructure, and damaging farmlands. The agency said persistent rainfall recorded during the first 10 days of July had left the ground with little capacity to absorb additional water, significantly increasing the danger of rapid surface runoff, particularly in flood-prone communities, urban centers, and poorly drained areas. The warning contained in NIMET's probable flash flood risk map also extends to Oyo, Ogun, Lagos, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, Delta, Edo, Abia, Imo, Ebonyi, Enugu, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Rivers, Bayelsa states, and the Federal Capital Territory. NIMET said the anticipated flooding could trigger severe traffic congestion, render major roads inaccessible, and disrupt transportation services in affected areas. It also cautioned that electricity and telecommunication services could be temporarily interrupted, while reduced visibility during heavy rainfall may pose additional risks to motorists and aviation operations. The two chapels of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ Plateau Radio Television Corporation, Prtvc, have endorsed Ayuku Pwaspo to contest for a second term as chairman of the Plateau State Council ahead of the forthcoming NUJ elections. The endorsement was made during a joint congress of the two chapels held at the Prtvc Rayfield station. The congress meeting presided over by Doman Wetkum, chairman of the radio chapel of the NUJ Prtvc, has members of both the radio and television chapels in attendance to deliberate on the union's direction ahead of the state council elections. A director of news and current affairs, Prtvc, Gati Garba, moved a motion for the endorsement of Ayuku Pwaspo, which was seconded by Simi Cholom. And members in their separate contributions stressed the need for unity within the union to enable the incoming executives to deliver on the welfare and professional development of members. The Prtvc radio and TV chapels noted that Ayuku Pwaspo's first tenure recorded significant strides and deserved another term to consolidate on the gains. Correspondent Samuel Swatsky reports that the Plateau State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists has released a timetable for its forthcoming elections, and according to the timetable, sale of nomination forms has commenced and will end on the 25th of July 2026. The election and swearing in of new executives will hold on the 8th of September 2026. And from the foreign scene, the United States says it has hit dozens of Iranian military targets in overnight attacks in response to Iran hitting commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. No commercial vessels have crossed the vital waterway since yesterday evening, according to the ship tracking data, and 8 crossed on Sunday, down from the 21st on Saturday. The U.S. military says it struck air defense systems, coastal radar sites, missile and drone capabilities, and small boats using aircraft, ships, and drones, including one-way attack sea drones, for the first time. And in response, Iran says it targeted U.S. bases in Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait, and also radar systems in Oman last week. Donald Trump said the U.S.-Iran ceasefire was over, adding that Iran's leadership were scum. And that wraps it up for us on News Track, reaching you live from our studio. You can stay tuned for global news that comes up by 6:30 p.m. and news update by 10 p.m., as well as other programs on the platform. Thanks for joining. and bye for now.